Pretty soon after I started quilting, I was introduced to the rotary cutter, and it dramatically changed my entire world. It's changed the quilting industry for almost every quilter that is out there today. Westalee Design, when they designed the ruler foot, they dramatically have changed that way quilters are quilting. Long armers have had rulers for a long time, but our domestic quilters were at a disadvantage. We've never had those amazing products that could advance our skills. I have so many people say that I can't free motion, that I don't know how to do it, that I'm no good at it. Ruler work is not free motion, it's guided motion. I already know where I'm going, and all I have to focus on is just keeping the foot attached to the ruler until I'm at the end of the line. So it's really a big advancement, helping people to make their quilts as beautiful as they want and really changing the level of skill that our domestic quilters are going to see.
Here we are. It is Wednesday night, and I see Donna is here from North Carolina, where it's been warm for a few days and getting cold again. I wish I could say we've had a lot of warmth here, Donna, but we haven't. But I did see a robin yesterday. And Regina, my friend, is here from warm North Georgia. Linda, my friend from Ravenna, New York, where the weather has something. Well, Diane Morris is here from Chassell, Michigan. Oh my gosh. You are not far away from me, Diane. So good to see you. Welcome, welcome. And Lee is here from Indiana. How nice to see you. Everybody is saying hi to everybody. Diane, for you guys who don't know, Chassell, Michigan is not very far from where I live. We're going to have to figure out a way to meet in person, Diane. I'd love that. Okay, so here's what we've got tonight. I told you I was going to be doing more project-based learning with our Wednesday lives, and we're definitely going to do that tonight. We're going to be using 4 templates, only 4. 2 of them come out of our starter set. The 2 that come out of our starter set is our 2-inch simple circle and our 4-inch arc. Now, those of you who have known me, oh, hi, Beverly Kramer is here. Hi, Bev, nice to see you. For those of you who know me, when I first started ruler work, the 4-inch arc was my nemesis. There was more times than not I wanted to throw it in the trash and forget it even existed. But then I practiced it and I practiced it and I practiced it, and I got to actually kind of liking it. And then I started using it more, and now it's my favorite template. Go figure, huh? And the other 2 templates we're going to use are Spin-e-fex 16, and I have a 5.5 inch and a 7.5 inch that we're going to use. Now let me show you the little design that I've come up with, and then I'm going to show you the quilt that we're going to put this design and several others on. The whole quilt is going to be a plethora of designs, 1 in each block. I've got, 3 by 4, 12 blocks, so we're going to use 12 different designs. When I tell you that we're only using 4 templates, you might want to think, well, that's kind of a simple design then, right? It doesn't have to be. We can make complicated designs out of 2 or 3 templates, and we can make very simplistic designs out of 10 templates. So it's all in what makes your brain work and how you want the block to look. The first one is going in the center, and here it is. This is a crazy quilt. My daughter put it together. I don't know if she's going to be in here tonight or not to see that I'm working on it. It is a Christmas fabric, but that's okay. So what I want to do with this block, and we could do it a lot of ways. When I first started designing it, I designed it from the center, not this center, but from this center of the design. And then I kept adding towards the center of the block, and then I kept coming out further from the center of the block. Some of these you're going to find are going to take a lot of thread breaks. But you don't have to take thread breaks if you are comfortable traveling or being able to adequately place your template back on and follow that. So we're going to talk about that when we get to it. Now, when I sat down and determined how I was going to work this block, I decided it was going to be from the center out. Okay, so I'm going to put my 2-inch simple circle in first. I'm not going to do my cross hatching right away. And the reason why is that's cross hatching is very, very small grid. It's on a 1/4-inch grid. And what's going to happen is that's going to start pulling that fabric in. I would much rather have the design, because it's quite open, I'd rather have the open design here before we start pulling it in. So let's go ahead, get our 2-inch simple circle. The other thing that you're going to notice is that I have a quilt in here. I'm not going to be able to be turning it around. So you guys are going to have to see what I'm seeing and how I'm stitching it. And we've talked about this many times, but we've never really done it. So I really wanted to do this, and I'm taking the gloves off. Oh, Jen, good to see you. Monica's here. Betty's here from Oregon. Betty, good to see you. Monica, always a pleasure. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and put my needle down, or my foot down. I just want to make sure. I did set the height a little bit ago. Just wanted to make sure we didn't have any atmospheric pressure changes.
Gina made a hit with Regina,
Oh, really?
thanking you for quilting on an actual quilt.
Tina, you are so welcome. I've been wanting to do this. This is something I wanted to do project based instead of just picking up a piece of fabric and showing you how to do a quilt. You know, we all can do the templates now. My gosh, you guys are pros at that. So it's time that we start looking at how we start putting everything together. Okay, I have 16 rotations here. I have the bulk of the quilt in my lap. I am working on a Singer 301, which has a very tight throat. You're gonna see that I can do this without any problems. Okay, so here we go. We're making an arc circle. So we're gonna keep our stitches a little on the small side. Gonna take a couple small micro stitches. And then we're going to just go ahead and come around. When we're done, you're going to be able to see the design much better on the back, because the back is a solid piece of fabric. It doesn't have any pattern in it. If you feel your quilt starting to pull on you or fall off the table, stop and smush it up. The only part that you are concerned with is right here. Doesn't matter what the rest of it does. This is where you're stitching. This is the part that you have to be concerned with. And some micro stitches. And I am going to go ahead and I am going to cut my thread. I told you there is a lot of thread cutting in this design. Could you do it with cutting the thread less? Yes, you certainly could. I just felt as though it gave a better look if you did cut the thread more often. So let's see where we're at. Oh, and there's that. Oh, there's that bobbin thread I want to pull up. There it is. And we don't have any thread tails on the back of our quilt. Okay. Oh, Lee, that's okay. We'll see you later. I hope everything's okay. So what I've got here is just a 2-inch simple circle. And what I'm going to take next, I'm going to take my Spin-e-fex 16, and I'm going to start with the 5.5 inch. Now we're not going to come all the way to the center. I'm going to show you how we're going to line that up to get this really, I think it's a pretty flowery looking design. We're going to use our center marks. We're going to line up our horizontal and our vertical center marks. But I am going to start on this reference line over to this reference line. Okay? We're going to do that all the way around. I get that out of the way, making sure that I'm not getting pulled down by my quilt here. These templates, when I was playing with them, coming up with a design, I was absolutely amazed at how perfectly they all fit together with my vision. Okay, there we go. Going to go ahead and hold that thread back. Make sure you hold that thread back, because what's going to happen if you don't, you could end up with a thread nest on the back side of your quilt. Remember, we want the back side to look as pretty as the front, don't we? Okay, here we go. I'm going to take a couple stitches, micro stitches there. Again, I'm keeping my stitch length a little shorter. Okay, if I need to move and readjust, I can do that, not a worry. What I'm trying to avoid is putting too much pressure on my arms and my shoulders. You don't want to end up needing a heating pad when you're done stitching. Okay, so now I am going to rotate my template rather than my block. And what's going to happen is here is my horizontal line is now my vertical line. My vertical center is now my horizontal line. And we're just going to take one stitch in place. And come over this way and stop on the reference line. And now I'm going to twist the template again, line everything up. Now my vertical line is a vertical line and my horizontal line is a horizontal line. We're going to stitch from the line that we are on all the way over to this line. When I first started this design, I thought of it, it was just such a nice, clean design. And I thought of how nice that would be on a modern quilt. But then I started adding more stuff to it. And that's when it kind of got a little busy. There we go. And now we're going to close that up. I'm going to come back to where we started, which is right here. Now our horizontal line is a vertical line and vice versa. The other thing I always encourage, don't try to stitch fast. Stitch at a speed that you're comfortable with. I stitch slow. Those people who know me say I do everything slow, right, Ken? He goes, which sometimes can be frustrating, but that's okay. And we're going to pull that bobbin thread up. And we are going to cut that. Now, if you prefer to bury your threads, go right ahead. For years, I buried my threads. I didn't do the micro stitches. I buried them. I thought I was a purist, and that was the way you had to do it. But I have subsequently been converted. So I'm good with that. So now we've got our first line in around here. And I'll show you on here what we're talking about. This line of stitching is now complete. I wonder if I can show you the back just to give you a better idea. Let me see what I can do here. Oh, yeah. So here is what we've got so far. Just, it reminds me of a very cute little daisy. Okay, we're going to flip this over again. Now, I did glue base this down. This is not a big quilt. These are 10-inch blocks. So I've got 30 inches wide and 40 inches long. And glue basting with homemade glue based is adequate to keep everything together, for sure. Now I'm going to take my 7.5 inch and we're going to repeat this process. We are going to line up our horizontal and our vertical line. We're going to start at this reference line. So it's actually going to be reference line number 15. We're going to cross over 16, 1, 2, and end at 3. Okay? Let's go ahead and get that set up. We're going to almost be in the little, I call it a foot hammock because that's kind of what it reminds me of. Just where the foot tucks in there on the template. And down we go. Let's take a couple micro stitches here. Make sure I'm lined up. One of the things that I do want you to notice is I'm not having any trouble with seams or running over seams. Linda Lombardo, my Michigander buddy, is here. Hi, Linda. Good to see you. And the reason I'm not having any trouble with any of the seams is because my daughter did an absolutely excellent job when she pressed it. When she pressed it, she used best press, she used the tailor's clapper, and everything just got so nice and flat. It makes this a breeze, guys. Take that extra time to press everything to the best of your ability, because that's going to make a world of difference. Now, if you find you're really pushing hard or your shoulders are getting sore, stop, adjust. Don't let go of your template. That to me is the most important thing. You really want to keep control over that template. And you can see right here, I got one big long stitch, skipped stitch, because I did stop and move. We'll go back and fix that. That's not a problem. Oh, here we've gotten back now to where our vertical is our vertical line. Our horizontal is our horizontal line. And we're going to do one. There we go. Now, Sew Steady sells a product that helps to keep our quilts up off of the table, and our suspension system. And that does work so very well. I don't have it on here because this is a small quilt, but I could attach it to the end of my table. So as I'm working with this, I will be using it. Okay, and this is my last time around. This is going to be the hardest one for me because, as you can see, there's my throat right here. So I've already got kind of a lot of stuff in there. And now the template has to go in there too. But it'll work. This is a 7-inch though, Ken, on this machine. He growled at me and said he doesn't remember.
Or maybe.
So it's not a big one anyway. There we go. So now we've got.
Get out your ruler and figure it out.
Oh, yeah. Now he wants me to work. Okay. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pull that bobbin thread off. Now, I'd like to ask the question, how many of you take your stitching line discs and your templates and try to draw out designs?
On paper.
On paper, yes. Okay, guys. Did I just run out of bobbin thread? I didn't think so. I thought I snipped it off because I just filled this bobbin. So, Jan, you must be playing games with me, bobbin games.
It might be 7 inches.
Yeah, Ken said it might be 7 inches. It's small anyway, whatever it is, it's small.
It doesn't do it much.
Hmm?
Regina does.
Let's see.
Glenda.
Okay, this is interesting. Linda doesn't do it a lot. But let me tell you guys something. Linda's designs are amazing. She is amazing at coming up with beautiful, beautiful designs, especially when she templates them. Regina does as well. And I know that she does work hers out on paper. Linda Lombardo does. I'm so proud of you. Of course, and you're a Michigander girl. Of course you would do that, right? Hi, Silver Fox Dolphin. So good to see you out there in New York. Hope you've all gotten dug out from your big snow. And Jan says she does. Okay. I'm so glad to see that you guys do that. Okay, Regina asked a question here. Did I start in the center of the quilt? The answer is yes. I like to start in the center of the quilt and work out because I want to get the hardest part done first. That's just me. I've always done the hardest parts first if I've got something to do. It just makes sense to me. It really does. Now, Ann Peterson suggests that you always stitch around your borders, your outside borders on your quilt. And then you start your free motion. She does free motion stitching. Then she starts your free motion stitching. At first, I thought that was kind of backwards. My thought it was backwards. But when she explains it, and if you ever get the opportunity to hear her explain that, do take the time to do that. I don't have the knowledge to explain why that works, but it does. I've done it both ways. So it keeps, what it does is it keeps the borders from rolling and going over themselves. Okay. The next, we've done three
templates.
Three templates already. Can you believe it? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go ahead and go back in the center here. And let's go ahead and do our crosshair. Well, somebody's got sneezes here. Okay, so I'm going to use my 4-inch arc for the curved crosshair in this 2-inch circle.
You got her nose in your shirt.
There was. Yep. Okay. So, so I was reaching for this. My dog just took out the contents of my pocket in my shirt. This 4-inch arc, well, all of our arcs have a lot of really wonderful markings on them. I like this one. It has the straight halfway vertical mark on it. It's got some diagonal marks on it. I think this is a 60 and 30 degree. The arcs that go across here are 1/4 of an inch apart. Now, remember, if you stitch from here to here, it's going to be exactly the same as if you stitched from here to here, or if you stitch from here to here. The arc is the same all the way around, okay? It looks like it wouldn't be, but it is. So what I'm going to do is here, this is the bottom of my quilt. I'm going to take my 45-degree line. I'm going to line up the center of my arc. I'm going to touch the 2-inch circle with it. I'm going to go ahead and pull my thread up. Now, I am 1/4 of an inch away from the template. And this is what we're going to have. We're going to have 1/4 of an inch curved cross hatching. Okay. I love the 1/4 inch in a small space like this. You can go bigger. You could go smaller. Well, yeah, it's not hard to go smaller, but you definitely could go bigger. And if you've got a bigger space, you can use a wider arch also. You could use a 6-inch arc, which would be another template in our
So,
arsenal, Ken said, actually in our sampler box. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to travel up, and I want to travel up so that my needle is going to hit right here where the outside of this foot is. And I need to get right over the top of it. And that's perfect. So I'm moving my ruler up so that the first line of stitching we put down is right on the outside of my ruler. I am going to make sure that I consistently keep this line lined up. It's not going to matter if you don't. This is just my way of keeping myself going in the right direction, guys. Okay, so now we're going to come on over to this side. And again, I'm going to travel that 1/4 inch. And I went just a little far, but that's okay. I can come back down. And here we go. Now I need to adjust my quilt because it's getting heavy. Whoops. Don't leave your foot on your presser foot. Okay, so now we're going to come up a little bit until we are 1/4 inch away and back in the other direction. Doesn't take much. Needle down. There we go. I'm going to go back. And back again. This really is not difficult, but it looks so professional when it's done.
and Mark also likes the fact that you're working on it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you guys are happy about that. I know it was something that I really, really have been wanting to do. So, okay. So now what I don't want to do is just take off where I'm from here. Okay. Because I know how I want the direction of my of my crosshair to be. So what I can do here is I can take my 2-inch simple circle, which I really need to get some new tape on. And I'm going to go ahead and line it up. And everything should be lined up appropriately. If you're not sure, you want to double check, go ahead and get your spacing gauge out. Oh my goodness, perfect. I love it when a plan comes together. Now I'm going to come over. You remember that I had this template going in this direction from the lower left to the upper right. This time I want from the lower right to the upper left. So I'm just going to stitch back to my reference line. Take your time. Okay. Starting to pull just a little bit. And there we go. Now I'm going to probably have to move that around a little bit, but that's okay. Because I need to come back over this way. When we're done with this, a lot of times what I like to do is put my circle in and go around this 2 or 3 times. That just really finishes that circle off, and it makes it nice and heavy. There we go. Soon as we see this line of stitching, we know we've gone far enough. So the templates that we're using tonight are the Spin-e-fex 16, our 2-inch simple circle. And I really encourage you to get the whole set of circles, because these circles can be done in this way and look so nice. They're just so polished when they're done up like this. There we go. Only a few more to go, guys. We're almost there. Now, what I will tell you is it will normally take me a little longer to do an actual block than to just demonstrate a template, because we're trying to keep into account everything that we want this block to be. And sometimes as I'm doing the block, even if I have a drawn out plan, I may change my mind. It is a woman's prerogative after all. And this is our last one. Okay, I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to break thread. I'm going to put my template back on. I'm going to make one more turn all the way around. I'm going to use my spacing gauge. I know it's something I just sometimes don't think we talk about our spacing gauges enough, and the importance that they are to what we're doing. They just keep us all where we need to be. And again, no need to rush this. Keep stitches a little smaller when you're doing circles or arcs. And this is just going to tie all of those little areas of traveling together. Okay, I'm going to take just a couple micro stitches. There we go. And Not sure how well we can see that.
Pretty busy.
It's pretty busy, Ken said. Yeah, it is. It is.
For again.
I'm going to flip it over again.
While you're at it, measure the throat.
We'll do that as well, Ken. Now he's curious.
Might be 9.
Might be 9 inches. Okay, we're going to find out, guys. Anybody want to place a bet on how big this throat is? I say 7. Ken says 9. Which one do you think is going to be right? Diane, so she also likes learning when I'm working on a quilt. It's, it's sometimes it's just the best way of doing it. Okay, here we go. We're not done yet, remember? But there we go. What do you guys think? That really helps to smooth that out. I got a little
Nest.
no, it's not really a nest as much as just a little
Wobble.
wobble. I'm not going to worry about that. That's right. That's right. And I got a little bit here too. So we'll go ahead and take care of that later. But so far, this is how we're looking. What do you guys think? Did you see anything that is too difficult in here yet? While I measure the throat of the machine. Let's see who's going to win this one. Okay, so if I win, you have to bring my soda to my chair tonight. And if you win, I have to bring your beer to your chair tonight. 7 1/4.
7.
That's what I said.
I know.
Okay, I'm not going to say I told you so. I love it when I'm right. Okay, so let's put this right back on.
I did like the cross stitching.
On the cross hatching.
Awful circle.
The waffle circle. That's funny, Silver Fox. We had waffles for dinner tonight. Oh, Linda says, very nice. You're sure? Oh, okay. Regina says, she loves it. She gives me too much credit, too. She really does. Okay, we're not done yet, though, guys. We are not. We're far from it. Okay. So basically, all we've done is this inside stuff and not even this yet. Okay. So what I want to do is start expanding the design. And we're going to do that again with our 5.5 and 7.5 inch Spin-e-fex 16. And then we're going to do it with our 4-inch arch. Now, when I was determining how we were going to stitch this out, I started thinking, how can I stitch this without breaking thread? Because what I really didn't want to do is, I could start here, travel here, go all the way over to here, break thread. Or I could start here, come here, back down here, and then up over to here. But the difference is I would not have that done over here, but I would have that double line of stitching up here. And remember, if we have a single line of stitching next to a double line of stitching, the difference is noticeable. If you have 2 lines of stitching next to 3 lines of stitching, then the difference is usually not noticeable. So because I'm giving this I'm going to give this away after it's quilted, I want to do the best job I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put the 5.5 inch in. I'm going to stitch up to the 7.5 inch and come around and back down and stitch back to the 5.5 inch and break thread. I know it's more breaking thread and not everybody likes doing that. I just think it's going to make this area look a lot cleaner. What are your thoughts on that? Well, Linda had an accidental question mark. Okay, good. Good. All righty. So let's get the 5.5 and the 7.5. And I'm going to take just a quick drink here of my root beer. That's the kind of beer I drink.
Gina says you're making her a better quilter with rulers.
Well, Regina, thank you. Regina is a very good quilter. She really is. You guys got to give yourselves the credit because you are doing great jobs. You really are. I am honored to have you guys here. I think I've said that before, and you really make my day. Okay, here we go. Again, have you noticed I have not twisted this quilt once? Okay. So we're only going to do this on the 4 diagonal lines. I'm starting. There is no particular mark there to show us exactly where we start. So what I'm doing is I'm lining up my vertical line of my template, and rather than coming down and lining up my horizontal line, I am putting the very bottom of the foot, where the foot goes, at the center of the block. So this is going to come up just a little bit further. I had it here when I first drew it, and it was kind of close. Or did I leave it that way? Let me look. If you're unsure, oh, guys, you know what? I did have it that way. I must have done it the other way first and then came back and did it this way. So let's go ahead and get her done. I'm lining up my vertical and my horizontal line. I'm going to start on the previous line of stitching. Let me pull that up. Huh?
You didn't hold the thread when you put that down.
I did not, Ken. He caught me. He caught me. Okay, I'm only going to stitch from here to here. There we go. I envy you who have gotten the needle channels as opposed to the gates. Actually, I don't even need the gates on for this process because we don't get that far down. I'm just going to tape it up on the top of my machine. There we go. I can go ahead and trim this thread off now. And it is so important to keep your threads trimmed. You know, when I was a girl, my mother used to get quite firm with me when I was sewing and did not trim my threads. And she really pounded it into me that you need to keep your threads trimmed. You know, Mom, I'm really glad you did because nowadays it makes a whole world of difference, and I totally understand. All right, so we're going to line up right here. I have a secondary horizontal line here, and that's where I'm going to line up. I'm just going to travel until I hit the edge of the template. Whoops. Okay, I will be doing that one over again, guys. I came off of my template just a little bit. I was watching something else. Now I will come and travel back. And pull my bobbin thread up. There we go. Perfect. There we go. So there's our first wonky, wonky design. Let me do that again.
Oh, oops.
Hmm?
Oh, oops.
There is an oops. Yes, Ken. A big oops. Oops. Right there. There we go. Let's see if I can pay better attention to what I'm doing this time. Because what happens to me sometimes is I am trying to think ahead instead of taking my own advice and just taking care of the task at hand. Don't worry about what's going to come next. It'll be there. And down we go. And a couple little stitches. Take your time when you're coming in to meet the other side. I can trim these off now. Switch my templates. I'm going to go ahead and line it up. Both sides. I want to make sure. Sometimes, I don't know if you guys have this happen to you, but sometimes it's hard with the fabrics to see exactly where those lines are. So I just kind of move around a lot looking for them. Yeah, I usually find them. The key to traveling, guys, slow and steady. Don't stop stitching. There we go. Oh, that was beautiful. Now, what I wanted to point out is you see where I came right over this little seam, those three, you've got three seams coming together there. Absolutely no problem. And that is because we made sure that we pressed it well. and use the tailor's clapper. If anyone wants to buy you a gift for anything that they're doing, my suggestion is to definitely ask them for a tailor's clapper if you don't have one. And if you don't have one, you might be asking yourself, well, what is it? Ken, will you hand me that little thing with the red? Yeah.
Which one, the big one?
Oh, the little one. Oh, here we go. I also do use my wool mat underneath when I'm using my clapper. Oh, Linda's cat is climbing on her. This is a tailor's clapper. So what we do is we get our seams nice and flat. I don't put water in my iron because we have too many chemicals, not chemicals, but we have a lot of minerals. Thank you, hard water. So what I do is I just use a misting bottle. I put my iron down and I hold my clapper on top of it. And I have never had a failed seam. They always lay nice and flat.
What about that drawn part?
Oh, this?
Yeah, what is that?
It's a pin cushion. And it even has a little ruler on the side.
Finger grooves.
And the finger grooves, right.
You can apply as much pressure as you could stand.
That's right. And if your husband gets out of hand, it's solid oak. So behave, Ken. Oh, just
20th century rolling pin.
a 20th century rolling pin. I like that. Who has more fun than people, huh? Okay, so here we go. We've got 2 more of these to do. This is not my favorite orientation. I'm going to be honest with you guys. We have good orientations and we have not so much fun orientations. I'm going to put you back in here. And this is one of my not so fun orientations. It's like this. You're always going to have a favorite way of doing things and a less favorite way of doing things. It's like your children. Oh, we don't have a favorite. Never mind. Okay, we're going to do some little micro stitches here. And then we're going to up. And we're going to stop right here. Needle down. That's real important. Make sure you've got that needle down. That thread off. Now we're going to line up that horizontal and vertical line here. I'm going to stitch up to it. Across. And stitch back down. And some mini stitches, and we'll pull our thread up. Isn't that pretty? It really does look nice. I think we'll wait now until we get to the end to turn it over one more time. Whoops, didn't pull the thread. There we go. Now we got it. So how many?
When did this start? Isn't, you can read that. Illinois.
Okay. Oh, hi, I'm not your favorite. I'm not your average Jane. Welcome. I set my calendar and I am late. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jane. We start at 6 o'clock Central Time. If you're in Illinois, I think
Central.
you're in Central Time Zone, yeah. So, but it will be recorded, so you can always go back and watch the recording. That will be up. Okay. So one more to go here, guys, on this side. Line up my vertical and horizontal lines. Now, without having the gate in here, we really don't have a line that we're following, but let me show you how I kind of configure that. If this is the line I've lined up the top with right here, and it comes through here and down here. If my bottom is like this, I know I am not lined up. If my bottom is like this, I'm pretty confident I am lined up because this line is coming through the top here. And what you'll see is it has enough of these other reference lines showing that they're just touching the edges here. So it's pretty consistent on both sides. I would say you've got a real good chance you're lined up well enough. Okay. This is going to be our last one of these. And then we only have one more. Yes, one more template pin set. Okay. Now I've struggled with that one a little bit, and the reason why is because I didn't rearrange my quilt and it was kind of pulling a little bit off of my table. But there we go. I readjusted it. We're good to go now. There's that. There's that. And where's my, there it is. There's my horizontal line. And up and around, we're gonna go. There. Well, guys, we're gonna be running a little late again tonight. There we go. We have one more thing to do, and that is with a 4-inch arc. And that is going to be in the inside of these first, oh no, we have two more things to do. I'm sorry. We got one to do on the outside first. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the tips of the petals. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull my thread up at the top of one. And it doesn't matter which one you choose to go first. It's all going to be the same. There we go. Where did my spacing gauge go now? Okay, guys, it's been hanging out here ever since we started. There it is. I knew it couldn't have.
Wear it around your neck.
Yes, Ken. He always says I should wear it around my neck. It's not like I don't have a notion that it goes to put it on, right? Okay, there we go. I'm going to take a couple little stitches here. There we go. And now we're going to be meeting up right at the tip of this next blossom. And perfect. Remember, this is the place where you don't want to be pushing. You, yeah, and you don't want to be not paying attention either. Can't just okay. You don't want to be pushing your fabric. If you need to, and I need to, that's got to come out anyway. But I need to readjust. And that can simply be because the battings aren't always okay.
Mhm.
They are not always the same thickness. No, they're not. Sometimes they have little bobbles in them. Okay. Go. Remember, you don't want to pull the fabric. You want to move it together. So you don't want to just pull this way or pull this way. You want both hands to be working in the same direction. Kathy Dewey's here. Hi,
Wait.
Kath. Wait again. Oh, really? I'm so glad you're working on a template project. Okay, let's get a few more in here. I think I'm just going to do one more in here and then we'll go ahead on the bottom one. See, my hands are working together. One is pulling, one is pushing. Okay. I'll go ahead and pull this up. And I know what I'm going to be doing in the morning while I'm eating breakfast. Hey, it happens to the best of us, right? Okay. So here we've got these nice little added petals. I'm going to call them petals for lack of anything else.
Ron,
Ronnie's here?
Ronnie.
Oh, Ronnie, hi. So good to see you, my friend. I'm glad you made it. You're just in time to see all the mistakes I made.
Yeah, we turned our clocks ahead. Maybe they didn't. Arizona doesn't turn clocks. We do.
Arizona does not turn clocks. You're right.
So she's not late. She's on time.
She's,
We're early. We're late.
I love it. Okay. So what I did in this little area here, let me pull this over just so you can see. I just made, they're just kind of little lines. They're not anything weird. They're nondescript. They're easy to do. We only need to do 4 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the line. So I'm going to start at this line. This would be the diagonal line. And I'm going to come up to the center and back down to the diagonal line. But I'm not going to do it like this. I'm going to do it in this orientation. What you might want to do is you might want to make some marks along here. Okay. I did not make the marks along there simply because if it's a little random, I'm okay with that. So we are still going to come up right on the outside of our circle, our center circle with the cross hatching. Okay. And stop right there. Now I'm going to turn my template. Use my spacing gauge. And come back down. Okay. Now I'm going to pull my template up a little higher. I'm going to do it from the inside. It's easier. I'll turn this so you can see it. So I want it to be at least that far. So I'm going to use my 1/2 inch.
Jane Welch loves your pattern.
Thank you, Jane. And back down. And we want to make sure we end up exactly where we started. Sometimes it's hard to see. This time it isn't because I left the thread unclipped. There we go. And I'm going to do that one more time because the 3s are the best way of doing things, somebody once told me. There we go. Stop on the halfway line. And now come back down.
It's really nice embellishment, Linda Lombardo thinks.
Oh, really? I'm glad you like it. This is kind of a fun one to do.
Good thing.
Okay.
Did you pick your arm off?
So
Pick your arm off.
I'm going to take this off, guys.
Gotta go so.
And I am going to turn it over so you can see the warts and all.
They're a half hour behind.
Ken is heading downstairs.
It's the doggies peep your arm off.
Uh-huh. So here we go. Let's see how we did. And of course, there's a little cleanup that's got to happen here, but that's normal. But there it is.
You gotta go say too.
I'll need to finish up around here. I'll need to fix a few too. So that is tonight's design. And next week, we're going to be working on another block with this quilt. So it'll be interesting to see what we could come up with for next week. And each week I'm going to use different templates. These are, again, template Spin-e-fex 16. I've got the simple circle 2-inch from the starter set and the 4-inch arc. And really, that was all we needed to do this whole design. Oh, thank you, Linda. So I got a thread here. There we go. Okay. So one thing I want to point out before we go, when you have fabric here, I know where the mistakes are. I'm going to be going in and fixing them because I am going to be giving this away. Little wobbles, though, aren't noticeable as a rule. And I probably could get away with not fixing a few things that I really want to fix. This is something to really watch out for right here. You see that large stitch right there? That happened because the quilt got kind of stuck on the corner of my table. And I did not stop stitching, put my needle down, and adjust my quilt. I adjusted it on the go. That's a big no-no. You don't want to do that, okay? And you all know that I'm incapable of looking away from the quilt and being able to stay on the template. I don't know why, but it's just the way I am. Oh, let's see where we're at. Oh, you guys, thank you so much. Hi, Pam from Maine. Next week, same time, same place. I will try and let you know which templates we're going to have. Same quilt. And guys, I really tried to find a thread that would really, really stand out on this. And this just seemed to be the best choice. So, yeah, we could see it on the back, though, right? Definitely can. So, do you guys have any other questions before we take off tonight? Okay. Don't forget Deal Day 20. And don't forget, if you want to get a hold of me, you go to sewsteady.com. Under the Elevate tab, you can find instructors, and all of my contact information is in there. So please don't hesitate to use it. And until we see each other next week, let's quilt.
Are you ready to take your quilting to the next level? Whether you're just starting or looking for fresh inspiration, the Elevate Box Club is designed just for you. As one of our club members, you'll receive a quarterly box packed with exclusive tools, patterns, and fabric to bring your projects to life. We host live classes every month, plus recorded lessons available anytime on our Sew Steady University. Join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for live inspiration on YouTube. We have a club for everyone. Choose from our ruler work club, our pattern only club, or the Elevate Box Club. Want it all? We also have a Get It All Club, combining ruler work and embroidery collections. Whatever your style and no matter your skill level, the Elevate Box Club is here to help elevate your creativity. We never stop learning together.